This will be an 8th grade video for section 8.3. We're going to be solving systems of equations with elimination. This is a third and final method of solving these kinds of systems that I'm going to be showing you. And remember, the solution of this is it's going to be an x, y ordered pair. That's a comma. X, y. No spaces. So for this, we're going to be doing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do about 9, maybe 8 or 9 problems here. So you'll just need a piece of paper out. I think we'll do probably 8. 8 of these examples, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So in the past, we've done with graphing, we've done with substitution, and in my opinion, I think elimination is probably the favored method. I taught this last year, and my students definitely preferred elimination. So hopefully you guys feel the same. We'll find out. I don't know. What we're gonna end up doing here is we're gonna actually just add these two equations together vertically. So what we're gonna see is we're gonna end up eliminating one of our variables. So let's see. Let's just do this. What's x plus x? Well, that makes 2x. What is y plus negative y? Well, that's nothing. Equals 7 and negative 1 makes 6. And this one's going to come out to be pretty simple here. So we'll just find out what x is by dividing by 2. Divide by 2, we get x equals 3. Now, they won't all be that simple. They won't all just be that perfect and ready to go, but we figured out what x is already. X is 3. So now we just need to find out what y is. And previously I said, well, put it in the box. But what we need to do is we need to just pick one of these equations and figure out which one's going to be easier to work with. And I think looking at this, probably going to be the top one. So we'll just say, so instead of x plus y equals negative 1, we're going to say, well, instead of x, we're going to use 3. So 3 plus y is negative 1. So on both sides, we'll subtract 3. Subtract 3, we get y equals negative 4. All right, so there's your answer, 3, negative 4. Now we could have plugged it into the bottom one. We could have had x minus y is 7. We get 3 minus y equals 7. So you do minus 3. So we learned that negative y is 4. Therefore, positive y is negative 4. We get the same thing. So there's your answer, 3, negative 4. I'm going to clear this out. Going to write the next problem. We have 2x plus 2y equals negative 2. And we have 3x minus 2y equals 12. So we'll add these vertically. And they're ready to go. You can see that the y's are going to disappear here. So 2x and 3x makes a total of 5x. Those go away. Equals 12 minus 2 is 10. Divide by 5. We get x equals 2. Now we can see we're going to have a little bit more work to do to figure out what y is. But I'm going to choose the top equation. To me, it looks a little bit easier. So we have 2 times 2 plus 2y equals negative 2. Lots of 2's. So we have 4 plus 2y equals negative 2. Can't divide by that 2 yet. We've got to get rid of the 4. Get rid of the 4. We get 2y equals negative 6. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Y equals negative 3. So our answer to this one will be 2, negative 3. All right. So these ones clearly work a little bit better when one of our equations doesn't just give us y equals 3x plus 2, something like that, where we can put a box around it and then put the box and plug it into the box later, because they're not always going to set us up perfectly like that. It might set us up like this, where elimination is probably going to be easier. Let's go ahead and do a third problem here. It's going to be 6x plus 5y equals 4. We're going to have negative 6x plus 7y equals 20. We can see that the x's are going to disappear. So 5y and 7y makes, let's see, 7, that'll be 12. Y equals 24. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. Y equals 2. I'm going to probably plug it into the top one, I suppose. So we'll have 6x plus 5 instead of y. We have our value for y times 2 equals 4. 6x plus 10 equals 4. We'll do minus 10 to both sides because I can't divide by that 6. That 10 was in the way. 6x equals negative 6. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. X equals negative 1. All right. Next problem. The next three aren't going to be perfectly ready for us. We're going to have to modify them just a tiny bit. And you will have, I think you got a couple of them like this in your homework where you're going to have to change them a tiny bit. We have 6x minus 3y equals 6. We also have 6x plus 8y equals negative 16. So notice if I add these, we actually don't eliminate anything. I'd have 12 x's, I'd have 5 y's, that neither one got eliminated. So what we're going to end up having to do here is, instead of adding them, we're going to end up subtracting them. But I want to just point out, when we subtract anything, if I do 5 minus 3, that's the same thing as saying 5 plus negative 3. Okay, so I want to just change one of these to all negatives. I think I would choose, it probably doesn't matter on this. I think I'm going to end up choosing the bottom one. So I want to change this to negative 6x, but I have to change the sign on this 8y, and I have to change the sign on this as well. I'm changing everything to a negative by multiplying everything on the left and everything on the right by negative 1. So now we have a new equation. What is this? It's equal to the previous one. Now I can add straight down. The x's go away. 8 and 3, they're both negative, so I have negative 11y equals 16 plus 6 is 22. And that's going to work with 11. We'll divide by negative 11. Divide by negative 11. I get y equals negative 2. Plug that in maybe into the top one. We get 6x minus 3 times negative 2 equals 6. Negative 3 times negative 2, so I get 6x positive 6 plus 6 equals 6. We'll do minus 6 minus 6. 6x, careful, those don't just cross off. There's still a 0 over there. 0 divided by 6 is 0. Now, I know that one looked a little bit confusing, especially when we had quite a bit extra work over here to figure out what x equals. But we're going to do 2 more in a row where we're going to end up changing all the signs to either the top one or the bottom one. And we could have done it to the top one and changed this to negative 6x, this to positive 3y, and this to negative 6. We would have just had positive 11 over here, I think, and negative, I'm not exactly sure if that would have been the case, but we would end up with the same answer because we didn't actually change the value of those equations. We just flipped the sign on everything. For number, whatever number we're on, I think 5, we've got 4x plus 3y equals 19. We've got 6x plus 3y equals 33. Now, just looking at this one, I want to change the sign of the top one because I think the x's will remain positive and the number that they're equal to is also going to remain positive. So I would change this to negative, this to negative, and this 19 to a negative. Everything is going to switch to negative. It was positive originally. So this will give us 2x, the y's go away, equals 33 minus 19. 13, that'll be a 2. 13 minus 9 is 4, so that'll be 14. Divide 2, x equals 7. And I'm going to plug that into, I'll plug it into the original one without the negatives. How about that? 4 times 7 plus 3y equals 19. So this is 28 plus 3y equals 19. Well, we'll subtract 28, subtract 28. This negative and positive, so that's going to be, I think it's 9. Let's do 28 minus 19. 18, 1, 9. 3y equals negative 9. Because 19 minus 28 is negative 9. Be careful, don't add those together. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. Y equals negative 3. So we get the point. 7, negative 3. All right. Next one, we've got negative 5x plus 7y equals 11. Negative 5x plus 3y equals 19. Not ready to go because the x's will combine, the y's will combine. We'll get 10 and negative 10. So we're going to have to change the sign, and I'm going to choose to change the sign of this one, make that one negative or positive, that one negative, and make the 19 negative. So now my x's go away. 7 and negative 3 makes 4 y's. Negative 19 and 11 makes negative 8. Divide 4, divide 4, y equals negative 2. And we'll go ahead and just use the top one. Negative 5x plus 7 times negative 2 equals 11. Well, 7 times 2 is 14, but it's got to be negative. So negative 5x minus 14 equals 11. Add 14. Add 14. Negative 5x equals 25. Divide by negative 5. We get x equals negative 5. There's your point, x and then y. I think that was 6, so let's do 2 more. And we'll call it a total of 8 problems. We'll do, let's see, all right, 4x plus 3y equals 1. And we'll have x minus 3y equals negative 11. Now remember in the last few we had to switch our sign. But look at this one. We have 3y and negative 3y. This switched already. When we add these together, it's going to eliminate the y's. So we don't need to make everything negative or positive. We don't need to do that on this one because the y's will just disappear already. So we have 5x's equals, the y's get crossed off, right? They eliminate each other. Negative 11 plus 1 will be negative 10. Divide by 5, divide by 5. We get x equals negative 2. I'm going to put it in the bottom one. Looks a little bit easier to me. Negative 2 minus 3y equals negative 11. We'll add 2 to both sides. Negative 3y equals negative 9. Divide by negative 3. Y equals 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So negative divided by negative is also positive 3. We get negative 2, 3. All right. And the last one, we're going to do negative 4x. No, we're not. We're not going to do negative 4x. We'll do 2x plus y equals 8. And we'll do 2x plus 3y equals 4. This one, it's not going to eliminate anything yet, so we're going to have to change the sign on everything. How about the top one? Change that to negative, change that to negative, change that to negative. So that plus is gone. X's will be gone. We have 2y's equaling negative 4. Divide by 2, divide by 2, y equals negative 2. Then we'll take that, let's put it into this one. So we'll have 2x plus 3 times negative 2 equals 4. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, so that'll be negative 6 with 2x. 2x minus 6. We're going to have to add 6 to both sides before we divide. We get 2x equals 10. Divide by 2, x equals 5. So we get 5, negative 2. Is that the same answer we just had on the last one? Close. I think that was negative. All right. So with elimination, what you end up doing is you need to just add these together, and one of them will eliminate each other. If it's not the case, then you're going to have to change the sign of everything. So just like your previous ones, your answers are a point. Okay, make sure there's no spaces or anything. Just parentheses, number, comma, your number, parentheses. No spaces, nothing. If it's marking them wrong, double check and make sure that's not the problem. Lots of Google Meets. Feel free to pop in, ask for any help. We do have a required one every week, so make sure you check your schedule.